Or should I just do my?
You ain't gonna do
it.
No, you gotta do it. Like, was you too distinguished for that?
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Hey! Once again, I am back with the Uncle, and welcome to another episode of the TUBARS, the Sound Review Show. Listen, as y'all can see, if you've been following me for some years now, then you know that I am sitting here with two of my favorite people to talk music with. All right, and I think it was like 9 years ago we actually sat.
That's crazy.
It looked a little different down, in the cave, but we sat in these similar spots and we talked to Pimp a Butterfly, which I actually watched like 2 days ago, simply because I was trying to get the nostalgia. You feel what I'm saying? But we are back again because we are super excited to talk about none other than Kendrick Lamar's GNX.
Grand National.
And before we get started on that, first off, I'm going to need y'all to subscribe. All right, TUBARS need y'all to subscribe.
Click the button. Click the
We
button.
need more. We need more. We need your support. All right, TUBARS needs it.
And I deserve it all.
Yeah, that part. Right. So, before we get started, y'all know I'm the uncle. To my left, tell the people who you are.
Little breast.
All right. She's consistent. She said little.
Always have, always will.
Little breast, right. And of course.
I ain't nobody. Nah, I'm Azriel DiCaprio.
Okay, all right. Azriel DiCaprio, y'all probably seen my interview with him not too long ago. So we are back, and we were really, really excited when this album just snuck out. You know what I mean? So I ain't going to talk too much. I rambled on a lot. I'm going to ask Lil Brisk first off, because ladies first. What was your first initial thoughts when GNX just snuck up on everybody?
Of course, like everybody else, I was super excited at work, just pressing the download button. Just download. Pop the little joint in my ear, started. As Kendrick always does, is just deliver classics. So I'm anticipating a classic. And I feel like he definitely didn't disappoint. Even those little snippets that I was able to get during the work day just kept me anticipating more for the rest of the album as I could actually sit and listen.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. All right. Okay. So, Kareem, what was your initial thoughts?
Initially, much like Lil Brisk, I was completely floored because I was at work.
Mm-hmm.
So I had taken a break and I just kind of like logged on to Facebook for a second, and somebody said, "So Kendrick dropped."
Right.
And I said, "Nah, can't be, because you can never go full in and believe everything you read on the internet." I'm like,
Plus, it wasn't a Friday.
right.
It wasn't a Friday.
No, was it Friday?
No, it was. It didn't drop on a Friday. I think it might have dropped.
It didn't drop at midnight.
It might have dropped on a Thursday.
I know it didn't drop at midnight. It dropped
Thursday.
It was. It was.
hold on.
Well, in any case, it wasn't.
But
Friday.
whenever it dropped, it wasn't midnight.
Right.
So
it was like in the middle. You know what? It might have been a Friday in the middle of the day.
I think it was the middle of the
Yeah,
day.
it could have been.
But at any rate, the point is, I went to his page and I saw that he had released a snippet. I said, okay, well, let me check Tidal, because that's what I use to stream music. And I said, oh, there's something here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I dove right in. I thought, listen, I ain't gonna tell you what I did at work, but
Right.
I dove right in. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Just like everybody else, too. I got a text message. I'm like, what? Okay, this ball dropped. So I went right in. And I tell you, off the rip.
Immediately.
Off the rip, okay, whacked out murals.
Oh, God.
Right? Whacked out murals. I'll just say really quickly, I think that he touched a lot. First off, he's separating himself from almost everybody in the game.
Like, it's me and then it's the field.
Everybody in the game. And also
and say something
he
about
calling out a lot. I like, of course the subliminals with the MCs, but I do like the fact that he's calling out like you know, your Shannon Sharps, you know, he called it
Yeah,
the coons that
yeah.
he talks about, you know,
Yeah,
you don't let nobody come on your show and talk about,
So
you know, comedians come on your show and talk about black women and stuff like that.
So that was specifically talking about Charlemagne's co-host.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He had said something to the effect that was degrading to black women.
Right.
And he had two black hosts hosting the show, but they were from London.
Right.
So,
Okay.
I happened to catch a snippet of it before the Kendrick thing, so I knew what he was referring to when he said it. I was just like, oh,
but
just
the call out, you know, the chasing the propaganda, the clickbait, and all that.
And what that said to me, and a lot of what Whack Down Murals said to me was, I hear everything. I might not say anything in the moment, but I hear everything.
Right.
And what I loved about it too was the continued energy. He already gave us fire throughout the entire year.
He did. He definitely did.
He came with the energy of I'm still stepping on next. I didn't let up.
Yeah.
And I love the narrative of the industry and how he's just not a part of it.
Right.
All of the y'all afraid to say what it is that y'all really want to say. I'm not picking no sides.
Yeah.
I'm standing where I'm standing.
And
it's
so
how
be
I
it.
feel.
Yeah. Keep your head down and do like I do.
Yeah. So no, I was just gonna say. So off the rip,
he set the tone.
Yeah, I was definitely in. But go ahead, what was you gonna say?
I like that he touched on. Well, everybody's been talking about the Wayne thing, right? I'm moving past that. I like that when he addressed the kid from the north. He said he tried to bribe the people around me, and if that would have gotten into the hands of the wrong person, you would have jeopardized my family. So it would never be peace.
Right.
So at this point, we're not talking about a rap beef anymore.
Yeah.
You did something that made me not like you. Period.
Yeah.
So it's all
right.
But even that, like, I just like the fact that he came in aggressive, because all of Kendrick's albums have had a tone. This one was the first one that started off, okay, I'm the dude, and you can't tell me differently.
Right.
I think he says that, like, believe you a God even if they're, you know what I mean? Like,
even when they say you ain't.
Yeah, I believe you a God even when they say you ain't.
Right. All right, so off the rip, we was already like,
we hooked.
Yeah. We in.
Bars.
Right, exactly. So then, you know, we get into Squabble Up, right? Okay, which initially, and I'm gonna just say throughout the album, and we kind of talked about this. You know, we have this really full West Coast type of feel. You know, this got it got the sample. You know, the. You know that. You know, I grew up on that. I grew up on that.
Make you feel like you want to go skating or something.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it seems like to me, just throughout, regardless of the subliminals and everything that he's saying, like, this is just straight up, strictly, you know, I hear a lot of Oakland, California in this. Not just California, but Oakland, California.
The Bay.
Right. And Squabble Up is definitely, you know, gears towards that. So what's your thoughts on that?
So I'm a dancer. So anything that's gonna make me dance, the video I absolutely loved as well. I love the energy that's on there, and the same thing, like, I love that Oakland, that it made me want to feel like I want to take a trip to Cabo.
Just being
it made me want to be part of the scene, and again, like, that continued energy of everybody who is coming for him, squabble up.
Right.
Get your man off the squabble.
Right.
Let's get it.
Right.
I loved it. The aggression, all of it.
Okay.
Make us dance along with it.
Exactly. All right, Kareem, let's do it.
So, for me, of course, just hearing it originally for the Not Like Us video, hearing that snippet was like, ooh, that's a different lane for him to get in. But what I liked about it, and I want to get not too deep because it's a dance record,
right?
But as black people, we can be like so divided, and on the East Coast, we don't embrace that sound a lot,
right?
because we don't relate to it.
Mm-hmm.
But as a community, that's their sound.
Right.
Kendrick is now forcing people to embrace that sound in a way that they didn't for, I want to say, probably a decade plus.
Right.
When's the last time the West, like, not to say YG and Nipsey and all those dudes that was from the West Coast didn't get embraced, but like fully embraced the way this is?
Right.
Yeah, that hasn't happened in a while. So I was just glad that he kept it so West Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel you. I feel you on that. I definitely, you know, again, and people probably watch my show. Like, oh, you know, you don't really mess with the West Coast. I dig the West Coast. Don't get it twisted. It's some great talent out there. Yeah. That sound, that Oakland sound, sometimes has to grow on me. You know what I mean? And I can tell you it did with this album.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
of
gotta
course.
Go back in. So then we get into Luther.
Luther.
Another dope, you know, If This World Were Mine sample. So,
Yeah.
you know,
I'll pass the little Bruce.
So I'm always a fan of a SZA and Kendrick
That part.
collab.
I don't blame you.
They never disappoint me.
And they touring together too.
I love it.
And you know what?
We gotta go.
You did me dirty on them tickets, but
Here
you
go
know
the
what?
thing.
No,
Here,
you did me dirty.
but Dad.
I got you. I already know what it is. I already know. I know what's going on.
Yeah.
All right, I got
So
you.
just so the people don't know, since the people ain't know,
All right, I
the
got
last time when he toured,
I know.
we as a family was going
I
golf.
know.
Yeah.
I screwed that
But
up.
yeah,
I
but
screwed
based
that up.
off of the
You
fact
going
that
for
you
safety. You going for safety. But let's get back to the album. Cause
I'm gonna put my personal aside. I'm gonna put the personal
all right, but
aside.
go ahead. So we got Luther, of course, SZA.
How your daughter gonna tell you you're not like us? That's crazy.
I know. She ain't lying though.
Yeah.
I can't
I had to
even-
get that ticket today.
I know. Listen,
I
as soon as they went on
I got
sale,
time to
I
wait.
get it.
Yeah,
I know.
I
get it.
told him I ain't doing it ever again.
If this world were mine, I get it. I get it. All right.
Okay. Number 7.
Yeah.
Right. So
Don't get me started.
all right. So now, I mean, we are just getting into the nitty gritty of just pure art at this point. Okay, with this Man at the Garden. All right. We know this is literally
Listen.
a rebirth of
One mic.
Nas's One Mic. For him, I would love to see him interviewed to see, you know, if he's. I mean, of course he's paying homage, you know, without it being said. But just give me your rundown. I already know how I feel, but just give me, you know, without me talking too much.
As much as I love Whacked Out Murals when the first time I heard it, Man at the Garden was the one that made me reach out to your dad.
Yeah, you did text.
I said, bro, Man at the what?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
me and Uncle Briz have this running gag of certain songs make you want to jump out the car while you're on the highway.
Mm-hmm.
Man at the Garden made me. Whoa, listen. And it's that last verse, that last verse about a close relationship with God, doing it with integrity. Still, people hating on me. Like everything about that was just. I just felt it. I felt it at my core.
Yeah, the build up.
Yeah,
you know, just like on One Mic. And all the things that he feels like he deserves. The question of how do you feel like you deserve it? You know what I'm saying? Like,
and I took that as talking to the audience. Why do you deserve me?
Right.
I'm calling myself the greatest of all time. Now, why do you deserve me? Because God told me I deserve this.
Right.
So why do you deserve me?
Right.
And I love that Briss as a father. I love the part where he says his daughter and his son will take it further than he did.
Right.
Because they deserve it. So it's not a self-centered record. It ends saying, you know, I deserve it all, but we as a community, like I love the messaging of that record. It really resonated with me.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I love how again, to me, it's like he just standing on business.
Yeah.
And, saying that he deserves his flowers.
Absolutely.
And I feel like that record was a stamp in the mud type of record.
Oh, yeah.
I am Bull.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no doubt.
I'm
Yeah.
Bull.
I'm
I
him.
always, I'm Himothy.
Right.
As they say,
Right.
And,
Right.
that say it with your chest type energy.
Yeah.
And I'm taking my respect. I'm not waiting for y'all to give it to me because I do deserve it.
Right.
And let me just say this before I pass it back. Before we started recording, Briss and I were talking about Ghostface and how Ghostface had one of the strongest catalogs of his time, and he still does. Bringing it back to Kendrick, you can't name me a bad album in his catalog. He deserves
he don't have
the
it.
accolades that whether his music resonates with you
Right.
or not is subjective, but nothing in his catalog is whack.
No.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I think he deserves that, and I think after what is it, 7 projects, if you include the Black Panther soundtrack, you have the right to feel like you're the greatest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I agree with you. All right, so then we hopping back on the West Coast with the hey now.
Say that for that.
Hey
I'm
now,
all about-
you know what I'm saying? So, I said this to you, and I love Problem. I love I Am Sue. These are some Oakland balls. What do you got? This ball Dodgy
Dodgy
6
6
on here.
Dodie, I forget.
Yeah, Dodie, something like that. These are just all new balls, and that's another thing that I wanted to bring up. But first off, the problem in I Am Sue, like I can hear that. I can hear throughout the album, tell me when to go. That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
The dread
The
shaking
hyphy,
and all. Yeah, the hyphy. You can just hear it. You know what I mean? And again, that's something that I wasn't really drawn to, and for him to actually, with the bars, make me like, all right, this is actually a dope sound.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that made, how can I put this? It's one of those things where the sound isn't what puts you off. You kind of need that happy marriage of, because you like content, because you like bars.
Right.
If you're going to give me that sound, then you got to find a way to give me content too.
Lyrics, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and that's what he gave you. Like on
He
that,
did,
on the Hey
yeah.
Now, it was what was the line that stood out to me? They laying on their deathbed trying to match me. It's like like just that braggadocious,
Right.
and he don't really give you that, but so often.
Right.
So-
Right. Yeah. So I mean, I wanted to say something about just, I don't know, like these new guys from over there. Like, I don't know none of these dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't,
That's
and I be thinking I be knowing everybody.
I think that's the point.
I know, and I'm like, and I'm just saying that, like, his squad, the Black Hippie,
you
the homies, and I'm saying, like, are these the new dudes that he's trying to like bring up, or is this,
So this is before we started recording, we had a conversation about how I felt like he was trying to unite the West Coast,
right,
across the board, L.A., Oakland, the Mexican community. A lot of the features, I ended up doing some research. They're all rival gang members.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
So they all,
wow,
they all have beef with each other.
Right.
Or had.
This is why we do this.
Yeah.
That right there, I literally just sat here and just learned something.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, that
That's
was the
dope.
research I read. Like, if somebody wants to correct me on that, but
Yeah.
that was the research that I read.
Right.
That everybody on here was in rival gangs, and he that was his way of trying to unite them. That's why.
dope.
That's why he didn't get Black
That's
Hippie.
dope.
That's why he didn't
Right.
get. Because I mean, even
That's
Baby
dope.
Keem. Baby Keem is signed to his label. Baby Keem
Right.
is not featured on the album.
And the reason, and I do, and this is for the audience, right? I literally do. I try not to, and you can feel how you want to feel. I could care less, but I try not to look at other people's like reviews or breakdowns, because I want to have my own fresh, like my own
Authentic.
opinion and mind, or I don't want anybody to like sway me. So forgive me if I don't know, the back, you know, that kind of situation. Because I like to listen to the music and just gather what I could get out of the music. You know what I mean? So that's my bad for that. But I'm glad you enlightened me.
Yeah, I try to do a little bit.
Yeah. So this might be this is probably my favorite song on here, maybe
without a doubt. Like that's.
And Tiana, I mean, my bad. Little Briss, okay, right?
You already called me by my government. You might as well keep the same energy.
Little Briss, right? Little Briss knows how I feel about Tupac. All right, so I am not the biggest Tupac fan. Yeah. All right. Yeah, we and again now right. She is right. And I'm not. This is no diss to Pac or the West Coast. In my opinion, Pac. You know, he was good, but he's not, to me, he's not your preference. Right. You know what I mean? But with that being said, this track, the Reincarnated, this Outlaws flip. I mean, first off, I love that production.
Listen.
All right? I love that production. I'm going to let y'all speak on this.
You got the floor. You got the floor. No, you got the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You ain't going to say nothing I ain't about to say. You got the floor.
First off, all right, so the first verse, talking about the jazz musician, in the 40s, being reincarnated, everything that he went through and all of that. At first, and that made me have to do research because I'm saying to myself, I'm like, who is he talking about?
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, and I'm just reading this from my notes, you know what I mean? But the first verse is a story of an old jazz musician who moved from Mississippi to Detroit. This is Boogie Hooker.
Yeah,
right?
Johnny Hooker. Yep.
Yeah,
see this, and
right?
this, I was going to ask y'all this too.
So Boogie Hooker, right? He said to be one of the greatest of all time as far as jazz goes, right? Mm-hmm. So as I'm sitting here, I'm like, first off, you have to say I want to do something different to even make something like this. We can talk about Reincarnated and all that, but for me to say, out of all of the people that people say, oh, I want to be like this person.
He could have picked Jimi Hendrix. He could have picked
Anyway, so then the second verse is supposedly
allegedly
Billie Holiday.
Mm-hmm. I heard Dina Washington.
All right, so regardless of whatever it is, it relates to both of them.
So
right,
you got the floor, but what I think is it's an amalgam of
both of them.
Yeah,
because it did sound like two different.
Yeah,
although it's technically the same life, it did sound like two different things.
Yeah,
right.
People, I should say.
And again, that's a lot of the times the reason why I don't be trying to do all the research. Yeah, because I'll be like, well, let me just. But the last verse, of course, is just without question. It's no argument. It's no trying to figure this out. If you know anything about, scripture's holy writing or whatever the case may be, he is literally Satan reincarnated. Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting here ironing my clothes, getting ready to go make $1. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, wait, did he just do this?
Yes. Yes.
He was thrown out, but now he doing it different though.
Mm-hmm. Right, because
he doing it the right way.
Right. Like nobody is.
Oh my God, man.
Nobody is
with the production, with the Tupac, with that beat.
No, listen. I think I said this to you. If I didn't, I'll say it here. The idea of tackling the concept of Satan reincarnated as two jazz musicians over a sample of Tupac, who constantly talked about being reincarnated. It was like, yo, like, I'll admit it. I'm at this point, mainstream, dude's my favorite artist. As far as the mainstream, like,
is he mainstream?
Not no, but you know what I mean. Like,
no, I'm just saying
the dude sells.
He's made himself mainstream,
right? But his content's not,
right?
But you know, like, I don't put him,
which is amazing within itself. I don't know how you could do that.
No, because everything else
is a balancing
act. Because I think what Kendrick represents is the part of the consumer who likes mainstream music, who just wanted something different. He was the something different.
I understand.
You know what I mean? Like,
I got you.
That's why you might hear certain artists say, "Well, I'm doing the same thing as Kendrick." Yeah, but
Right.
Yeah. And he can beautifully weave that, you know, in and out of his work as well. You know, hence his records with SZA. They're a beautiful balance of being able to be himself, but at the same time give us something that is being played on, being streamed.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the one thing I've noticed about this entire project is that he found a way to do what his critics said he couldn't. His critics always said, "Yeah, but his music ain't a bop."
Right.
All right, now I'll give you 5 of them. Now,
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
And we've been bopping the
whole time.
Summer and the winter.
And speaking of bopping, okay, we get into TV off, okay, which made everybody just go bonkers.
If he don't perform that at the Super Bowl, I'm going to be highly upset.
Come on, when he yell mustard, I mean, come on.
It should be the start off.
I just want you to know.
That's going to be the end.
Listen.
That's probably going to be the last. Yeah. That's going to be the
because
last.
cut the TV off.
Yeah, that's going to be the last.
Cut the TV off.
That's going to be the last. And I'll be honest, you know, if y'all want to talk about TV off, you can.
Yeah.
Because everybody, you know, that's just been the going theme.
We got other things to talk about.
TV
off is the anthem.
Right, it is. Yeah. I ain't even had really too much to say about it even myself because it just speaks for itself.
And it took off. So of course, it clearly, I will say, I heard, it was a marching band. It wasn't Grambling State. It was another band who tried to do the TV off. Like there was footage of them.
Trying to practice it. Okay.
And it was like, yo,
they'll get it. Trust me.
That's my point because it's gonna be one of those.
Right.
Because I remember with everything going on with him and the kid from the north, everybody's talking about like how Not Like Us was kind of fabricated the numbers, I guess. But that's neither here nor there. My point was I was talking to somebody about it and I said, well, I understand that Universal might have done what they did, but that song took off because the West Coast embraced it and the historically black colleges embraced it and started using it.
Right.
The song was going to take off regardless. All right, go ahead.
Well, you know, I mean, we got Dodger Blue.
Dodger Blue I really liked. Okay. I really liked because I felt like it was one of those, every now and again you get a West Coast anthem. And this was the one, like it was mellow.
Right.
Yes.
It didn't hit me at first.
Right.
But I didn't hate it. So then I kept listening to it and I was like, I see what he's doing. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Like it's not something that I would go to as an anthem for me, but I can imagine what that does on a late night in California.
And not only that, it just shows the variety in the album.
You
know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, he got to, like we've been talking, you know, he got bops, you know, he got West Coast, he can relate to the East Coast on here, you know what I'm saying? He got subliminals that, you know.
Yeah.
You know, so.
A little jab here and there.
Right, yeah, couple, you know what I mean? And we got Peekaboo, all right?
Good.
So Peekaboo is definitely one of my favorites. Just the attitude of the album.
Yeah, he just has.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you ain't saying nothing. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't saying nothing.
Yeah.
I just might play that for all my enemies.
And again,
what are they talking about?
It's that Oakland sound,
Yes.
right? That you got to give him credit that it had made me grow. It done grew on me.
No, absolutely.
That's what I love too about Peekaboo. First off, the audacity of it. Again, the swag, it just make you feel like you know, that energy. But again, I think this is one of those records on the album where as though you're immersed, like he's flushing you into that West Coast. Welcome to Cali. This is us. This is what we do.
And it
feel it.
And it made me appreciate it. It made me appreciate it because, okay, it's one of those things where maybe this isn't your go-to bag if it's a different artist, but. Everything's not for everybody, but you love this artist enough where you give it a chance. Now imagine what that sounds like if he's live.
Right.
Yeah. And in Whacked Out Murals, he said something to the effect of this ain't for lyricists. I want y'all
Yeah.
to feel this.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That's what some of these records are. And
Yeah,
I don't. And
yeah.
as someone who has recorded music before, sometimes you just want to go in the sometimes you just want to go in the booth and have fun.
And not only that, I mean, you could look at his track record. You know, the last couple albums has been real, you know, pro-black and, you know.
Yeah, heavy on the
Yeah.
content.
Yeah. And,
It's real dense.
and again, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you give me that every single time, I'm going to get tired of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
So
you fall into a certain
yeah,
category.
this here is a nice breakaway. Even though it's like, oh, it's throwaway. You know, it's well. Guess what? If this is some throwaways, then I feel bad if he getting his real zone.
You mean
know what I'm saying?
Reincarnated is a throwaway?
Right.
What is wrong with y'all?
Right. So, go ahead. My bad.
No. No, I was just gonna say like it's one of those things where, sometimes it's just okay to make a fun record. Like I just want to go in there and do something fun with my homie, and hope the world feel it. If they don't, they don't. I still like it.
Right. All right. So then we get into if Reincarnated wasn't my favorite, this is my favorite. I don't know if this is my favorite. Reincarnated is my favorite. And tell me if I'm skipping something, but I'm already on Heart Part 6.
Heart Part 6 is
Okay.
I'll let you have the floor.
So.
I'm sitting back now.
And I've loved from the heart. I mean, all them hearts is just ridiculous. I mean, they're just ridiculous. But this one is particularly excellent because the history that's displayed on this song, from the humble beginnings to where he is right now, is just amazing to hear their story laid out. First off, it seemed like he ain't skipped nothing,
right?
You know, because we all know, anybody that knows from back in the day, J-Rock was supposed to be that guy.
J-Rock was the guy.
You know what I mean? And then, as you see, just like, and I'm gonna just say, example, your Wu-Tang Clans, this group, you have someone in the group, Jackson 5, you know, that's like, you know what? I get it. Y'all all good, but we gonna focus on this guy right here, and then we going, and just to hear, you know, from the studio sessions to him, you know, borrowing clothes from Soundwave and just just
Dave Free.
I mean, it's just so he just lays out the whole story on this, and I really, really appreciate it because first off, when you this big, you don't even have to let anybody know, you know, that this is where we was at. You know what I mean? But then also to admit that black hippie,
that hurt.
Just you know could have it's like and he's like I was going in a different direction. You know I it was my bad. You know it's basically it ain't no diss or nothing. It's just like you know what it's kind of my fault, but creatively this is I wanted to go this route.
No, but
you gotta respect it.
Yeah.
But you know what though? I'm sorry. T, go ahead.
I felt like with the Heart Part 6, first off, that's how it should be done. And
say
then, and then with the same thing like with us core fans who was like listening to them like back then like Black Hippie when you was just
Control
waiting
system and all
when you was waiting for all of that when we were anticipating that hoping that would be something. I just love how he brought us through the just like you said the humble beginnings, and for us fans who have been there from that start, it was like a chef's kiss. It was something that you ain't even know that you needed, yet here it is.
Right. And something you said to me when we sat down and discussed my project, when you asked me about the crew, and I said, everybody's still good. There's something about knowing that everybody is still good.
Right.
Yeah. There's something very comforting in knowing that, hey, I'll admit that Ab Soul was my inspiration. I'll admit that J-Rock was supposed to be the dude. I admit that Q wasn't really a rapper, but look what Q has become. Right. We're talking about Kendrick, but let's be clear. Q has one of the best albums this year. That Blue Lips album is phenomenal.
Yeah, it's a great album. It's a great album.
You know, so it's nice to hear, and to your point, it's nice to hear his perspective on that. But it was also nice that he jabbed the kid from the north without directly jabbing him.
Mm-hmm.
We don't even acknowledge your heart parts.
Right.
Here's the one that's the real one.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought that was nice.
All right. So we get into the title track. Right. That's next. GNX. Right.
You're right there.
You know, and of course, by now everybody understands. You know, the GNX on the cover. You know, the Generation X.
Yeah.
You know, the whatever age bracket this is, I get them all mixed up. You know
Mm-hmm.
millennials,
late millennials,
yeah,
early millennials.
you know what I mean, early millennials, whatever. I don't even know what I am. Baby boomer, whatever.
You're
Senior.
not
You're not
a baby boomer.
Senior, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may
No,
be.
Wow.
how your man gonna throw like 20 years on this song just now? What's wrong with him?
Crazy.
But so you know, GNX. Again, another one of those. I can tell you this beat though.
It took a minute.
It had at the beginning. I'm like, what the heck? And first off, to come right after Heart Part 6.
Yeah, it threw you off.
Yeah, the production. I was like, and then after a couple times, I'm like, all right, you know what?
Yeah.
You know the variety, but it's something you wanted to touch on here, right, Kareem?
Yeah. So
And don't leave yourself out. Don't
Yeah,
let
because
us.
here go the thing, because I'm not feeling how you just keep on talking about the production was like.
no, but he's
It's stressing me out.
Well, give it to me.
Stressing me
You
out.
sit there, give it to me.
Because only thing is I'm not understanding. I'm not understanding how it's hard
Listen,
to.
Ted,
this is the
I
guy-
don't get how
this
you
is
hear it from, even when coming from off of Heart Part 6. I don't understand how we get into that, but we not feeling the vibes. I'm not
No, I do now. I was saying from
You
the
should have got it right away. Is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Right away.
put some respect on the sound.
Yeah.
you
There
know.
was it was
But
no
we-
need
but
to question.
You know how I am
But
with
we are
these,
talk-
with these ears.
But
You know
but
how
we
it
are
is.
talking about somebody who isn't the greatest Pac fan. So the West Coast sound, it takes a minute. So give him
Team, I'll be honest.
Give him
The
grace.
first initial discussions that we had, I was like, yo, this Jones West Coast. I was liking it.
Yeah.
But I was like, yeah, you know, the West Coast this, West Coast that, you know what I'm saying? So, but guess what, T? It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
All right? And, you know, I got something for y'all afterwards. But go
No,
ahead.
so go ahead. I'm sorry.
No.
No. I'm sorry.
No, I just was saying that we immersed in it, embrace it, do a little Cali bounce, like let's just.
Yeah, throw your elbows out.
Yeah.
Get your Wayans brothers on.
Yeah.
But no, the point that I wanted to bring out actually it's about the song, but not really about the song. I keep going back to Whacked Out Murals because Whacked Out Murals set the tone for the album,
Right.
and because everybody was talking about how much he took a jab at Wayne, which wasn't a jab, but whatever. That's
It was.
no.
It
That
wasn't.
was.
Right.
Hey, I'm disappointed in you for being disappointed.
Right, exactly.
But anyway, the point that I brought out to Briss was everybody missed all the times that Kendrick paid homage to Wayne on this album.
Mm-hmm.
Drop It Like It's Hot. Yeah, that's a Snoop record, but who created Drop It Like It's Hot? Wayne.
Right. Mm-hmm.
When GNX comes on, in the intro, you hear the wow.
Exactly.
That's
I
a
was
BG
thinking
reference.
The same thing. Yep.
And then one of the dudes, I want to say it was Hitter.
He rapped like
He
Juvie
raps
now.
like Juvie. I'm giving you flowers,
Yes.
even though I got beef with your boy,
Right.
Right.
because Kendrick is on record saying that Wayne is one of his greatest influences.
Yes.
At some point, there was a reference. Wayne had tweeted that he was getting ready to retire, and Kendrick, who doesn't tweeted, "Don't go. We still need you."
Right. Mm-hmm.
So you so quick, and when I say you, I mean the fans. You're so quick to point out the negativity. Remind that man of how much Kendrick loved him,
Yeah.
and it's
Right.
probably, and I'm sure it still does.
Yeah.
I'm sure it still does.
And that, a lot of that has to do with the internet. The
Yeah.
internet, you know, they hear and they hear the surface of it all.
Yeah.
Right.
And they're not digging deeper. They're not listening, just like you said, to
Yeah.
the rest of the album, and then you hear it right from off the start.
As soon as I heard it, I was like, "Oh, this BG."
Right.
Yeah, you're not peeping that. You don't know what's going on. You
Yeah.
don't know culture.
Yeah.
You don't know music.
No, you don't know
it.
culture.
You don't know it. So you're going with what surface level, and you going was going to get people hype on their keyboard.
Right.
You're not listening.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where, you know why they call musicians artists?
Yeah, she's like me.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's like me. But go ahead.
Yeah, I don't even need to be here. Y'all can do this yourselves. But anyway, no, that's why they call musicians artists. Because what do you do with art? You take the time to appreciate it, and everybody gets something different from it. We can all look at this painting on the wall, and it'll make you think something completely different.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And that's why, even when this album dropped, me and Briss talked, and he was like, "Man, I gotta review this joint." I said, "Nah, sit with it. Sit with it for a minute."
Well, I was, you know.
Yeah, no, I know. But
I'm done with the Speedy Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm done with the Speedy. T even was like, "You got Chromacrobia Joan out already?" No, but I dissected that Joan.
Yeah.
I went all in on that,
was
but
a
that's
deep
whole.
dive.
I went all in on that.
Nah, that was a deep dive.
I know, yeah.
That was a deep dive. That's why I was so shocked.
Yeah, I know. No, I went up in that joint. That joint is broke down articulately and accurately. So then we're on the back end, you know, because we summing it up here. All right, with Gloria.
Gloria is
all right.
sample.
So like I was saying, driving home, I had it on, and I told my man he gagged me. Off the rip, he gagged me. Because of course I'm thinking, he talking about his lady.
Yeah.
He talking about their history. He talking about, you know, everything. And then he flips it in the middle of the song where he talks about her killing somebody.
Ain't that what I told you? Ain't that what I told you?
And then at the end,
I'm like, how you snitching? Oh, okay.
it's his pen. And I'm like, oh, are you kidding me?
Right.
So I know how I felt. Just give me what, you know. Was I the only one that was gagged?
No. Very much so gagged.
No.
I was very much so gagged, and it took me a little minute to basically be okay with. Because initially, of course, I loved the song.
Right.
And I'm
Sure,
listening to it thinking the same thing. Oh, it's beautiful. We ending on this little love note, but still kind of like telling this story or whatever. And then... at the end when we get to the pen, I'm like, you gotta be.
That's what I said.
I know you kidding me.
You got me.
Yeah, and then I had to listen to it again. Like I was listening to it before I had came, and I'm just like trying to help myself to appreciate it initially, like how I first did, because I still love the song. It's just same thing. I just felt gagged. I felt gagged. He got me. And I went back and I just listened to all of the underlying metaphors and stuff, and it's like, why didn't I pick that up first?
Yeah.
I should have known.
The second and third listen, you was like, all right, I can see what
he
you're
was
saying.
He was telling me the whole time.
Right.
He was telling me the whole time.
No, all right, so.
And we gonna rate this in a minute, y'all.
Yeah,
just hang in there.
No, because I'm gonna keep this done brief.
But go ahead.
I think it's one of those things where, because of the beef, because of the last album, and how personal it was, and how private he is with his family life, you wanted it to be about his wife. You wanted it to be about his wife because what the beef did. Like, the beef was, oh, your kid ain't yours, and she cheated with your man, and so to get that record that kind of feels like we good. So you kind of go into it like, dang, that's beautiful, and then you get the pen reference. It's like, oh, fam, that's a cheat code.
Right.
Like you're cheating.
Yeah.
But, and I said this to Briss, I think two things are true at once. I think he's talking about the pen and his wife.
Yeah, he could be.
In certain parts.
Yeah, he
in
could.
certain parts.
I think he uses his relationship
as the muse.
Metaphor to speak about the pen.
I think the beginning of it is very much about her. But how do you carry it that long and make it intriguing? Okay, at some point we need to switch it over. Now, what I've been trying to figure out in my last few listens is, where does it switch? And I think the time that it switches is around the time that he references, you beat that body.
Yeah, I think the whole thing is about
No. Two things being true at once.
He just gagged us.
No, I think it's two things being true at once.
Right.
I think that some of the things that he says about the pen are true to his relationship with his girl.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. I think that he's so talented that he is able to take situations out of his relationship and relate it to hip hop. Now, people have made songs about hip hop being a girl, hip hop, this, that, and the third. But I think he was able to all right, this is what happened in my life, and I'm going to make it where the pen is my wife. You know what I'm saying? Like on that type of if you follow what I'm saying, it's like these things happened, and this is how hip hop is with me. You know what I mean? We fell out, we had an argument, you came back. You went to go mess with other dudes before, but now you back home. Yeah. It's just so ridiculous.
I will say I like the bar where he says, I took you to Africa with me.
Right.
But I didn't trust you.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Right.
Speaking of writer's block, I didn't trust that the music that I was trying to write then was good enough.
Right.
So I just thought that.
Again, his real life stuff. You know what I mean? It's just.
Yeah.
So I think all in all, we had a really great discussion about this album. All right, and I'm going to be last. So on Uncle Britt's rating scale, if y'all don't know, I'm going to put the scale up. But I had it's 1 to 5. Okay, with from you either my niece or you can be the uncle. The uncle, of course, is the top spot. Nieces, trash. It's baby. I love my niece. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, it's a baby girl. So,
it's a baby girl.
All right.
So I love my baby girl.
So we got niece, we got nephew. We got second cousin. We got your cousin. We got your first cousin. We got your aunt. We got your great aunt at 4.5, and you can just say the number, and then you got the uncle at number 5. So, where would you? We'll start ladies first, Tiana. What would be your rating on Uncle Britt's rating scale from 1 to 5?
I'm gonna give it a strong.
Listen, I'm not arguing with that.
I am.
I'm not arguing with that.
From 1 to 12, to with all of the intricacies of the songs, the subject matter, the immersing in the culture, it's just a piece of art.
Okay,
I understand.
All right,
I understand.
I definitely. I appreciate your intake on that.
Okay. Can I ask a question based on your rating? Mm-hmm. I'm not disrespecting your rating. My question is, where do you rank it with the rest of his catalog?
Wow.
Because that's what determined my rating. Mm-hmm. So that's why I was asking.
In comparison to the rest of his catalog, I'm gonna say top 3. Top three.
Okay.
For me.
Okay.
Yeah. Which one of those top 3? You trying to get which one of the top 3?
I was wondering, but I wasn't going to ask because you weren't going to give it.
All right. So top 3.
I figured it was probably Good Kid.
Yeah.
Damn. Then this, or Good Kid, To Pimp a Butterfly. This.
No. For me?
Yeah.
No. So I'm gonna go with Good Kid, Mad City. Mm. Yeah. And then what was the last one before this one?
Mr. Morale.
Yeah, Mr. Morale. Right. And then I'm gonna go with
you have Mr. Morale in your top 3?
Absolutely.
Okay. I love that. I love that because I genuinely enjoyed that album. I don't think that album gets enough praise.
It definitely doesn't get enough. All
right, so your rating, Kareem, Uncle Britt's rating scale.
So
where we at with it?
I haven't fully decided whether or not it's an aunt or a great aunt. I'm somewhere in the middle.
So you got 4 or 4.5?
4 or 4.5.
All right, we got to buckle down.
So no. So I'm going to give it a 4 with the option to go 4.5 later. Okay. That's 4 right now. Let me pick it.
All right. So on Uncle Britt's rating scale, I'm going to have to agree with you. I give it a 4.
Okay.
I give it a 4. Oakland beats, it would have got a 4.5.
You a West Coast hater. Wait, then what do you say? No, did Kendrick say they don't like the West Coast? And I'm fine with it.
That ain't right.
So listen, thank y'all for tuning in.
Yeah, I'll throw up a dub just for the
Appreciate
West Coast.
y'all hanging in there. Let us know what y'all think about it. Shout outs to my co-host here, that sat with me and
Always
enjoyed, another good day of TUBARS. And peace.
Dubs.